Slum Village's significance to me, I'll make it personal. The first time I heard Players, it changed how I listen to hip hop. I had never heard anything like it before or since. It was so bad, like between classes, I would stop through the library because the library had computers. Stop through the library, go on Sandbox Automatic and listen to Players. They only had like a 30-second snippet. Listen to Players for like 5 minutes and then go to my next class out of the library. Which was, I mean, this was not like you got to walk through the library. So I'm stopping off just to hear this joint. This was 98. You know, I was already familiar with JD because my boys had put me on back in 95 when he was doing shit for Pharcyde and for De La. And they was like, yo, he from Detroit. And I was like, word? And it was just interesting because before I even knew he did anything with Pharcyde, like on that second album, I already had my favorites. And then when I turned around and looked, all of my favorites were produced by him. When he ended up releasing stuff with Slum, it was kind of crazy because it was not super lyrical like everybody, you know, mid-90s, late 90s wanted at that time. To me, it was a style thing. And I understood it because Detroit is very style-oriented. We're very materialistic. You know, folks, we you know, Detroit cats floss, man. We floss on shit. And, you know, it really embodied Detroit. It really did. Because the tracks were so musical. And there was a couple joints where I was like, damn, is you supposed to be rapping on that? Like, that's almost like, I ain't gonna say too good, but it was just like, it was orchestrated. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't the J88 remix, and it wasn't the original Look of Love, like with the Look of Love sample. It was something else where it was ridiculous. I used to call that joint my off day song. Anytime we had an off day from baseball, I was super excited because, you know, I just had time that day. And anytime I have an off day, I would play that joint on repeat. But it was just, I mean, it was fantastic, man. Like, that shit was incredible. Like, I hadn't heard that type of musicality in hip hop before. With that type of music, and then, you know, with T3 kind of picking and choosing his spots where he, you know, put his words, and with Ba10 just being a personality in and of himself, it just made that group. And then people also sleep on Dilla's verses. You know, I think he kind of made him wake up on Thelonious with Common, but like Dilla really knew how to ride the beat, basically. And you know how you got your certain producers where it's just like, you're my favorite MC on your own stuff. Like Diamond D, for example. Quick is another example. Like, they sound fantastic on their own stuff. JD was the same way. Like the way he did, well, actually that was over Madlib, but the way he rode on McNasty Filth, like that, crazy. Like, they got the hi-hats matching his cadence and all that stuff. Like, it was just innovative. I mean, we can kind of credit JD for the swing we have in music. The swing that was duplicated so much in a lot of these soul records. You know, that's him. When you go out to an open mic or something like that, and you hear, you know, or a jam session, you hear the band, you know, playing off on purpose. That's JD all day long. And it's just crazy how long it has lasted. Like, it wasn't just a 96 to 2003 thing. It's still here. You go to a jam session today and you'll hear that. I think Slum just came with it was an innovation of musicality plus simplicity, especially lyric wise, and making the shit work. Like, it worked. And then their shows was crazy, especially the ones with Ba10. I remember seeing those couple of those early shows, and I'm like, yo, man, Ba10 is in it. He's on another planet on with his stage presence. It was crazy, and you know they really bounced off each other well, between T, 10 and J.